This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Sonny Edwards here in Sheffield. Sonny, a nice local one for you today to come down to support the guys. How are you there?
Yeah, I'm good. Getting a bit tired now. I think this is my seventh interview maybe today.
Hopefully you can get through this one. Then we can let you go. Nobody else comes and queues up behind me. Dalton Smith, Jose Zepeda, very interesting fight. What does Dalton have to do to prove himself at world level in this fight?
Win.
How does he go about winning?
Hitting him more times than he hits him.
What challenge does Jose Zepeda possess, which Dalton Smith will have to overcome?
He hits very hard. And he's a southpaw.
I'm struggling here, Sonny.
I think this is my new style of interviewing. I think it's more punchy. Sometimes I think I waffle on too long. I watch back and think, what was I thinking when I was saying that? Because there was like 2 minutes that I started off here from the question and I went over there, did like a little trip back, and then because I remembered, wow, I'm speaking about nonsense, and I've somehow found a way to connect it. But it's like, what is that really? It's just.
I also think that works for you. Sorry, Sonny. I think that works for you because when people watch a Sonny Edwards interview, they expect to hear more of an in-depth analysis, more of an in-depth talk.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just like idle consciousness because there's a mic in my face. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a balancing act sometimes because you need to be entertaining every time they see you on the screen.
You are entertaining, though. You're entertaining in the ring, you're entertaining in front of a camera.
I think that's subjective because a lot of people would say I'm boring in the ring, and a lot of people would say I'm boring on camera as well.
I mean, anybody who would suggest that, though, clearly wouldn't have watched the Bam Rodriguez fight.
Maybe, but it's easy to be in an exciting fight when you lose.
I don't know what to say about that, Sonny. But yeah, sticking with the theme of Dalton Smith, Jose Zepeda, he comes through Saturday night. Does that mean then he has to stay at world level? And would you say that dismisses the chance of seeing a potential Adam Azim fight because Adam hasn't fought to that level yet?
I don't think they want the fight anyway, especially not right now. I think Azim would take it, as all fighters would. He'd be heavily advised, and maybe correctly so, to avoid Dalton. I think they're holding on to the European title to see what happens with the European mandatory position. If whatever happens in this ring, Dalton no longer has it, I don't know, because he loses or because he wins and goes on, I don't know. Then I'm sure they'll hold on to the belt. I'm sure if he's in a position and we're still talking about the mandatory after this fight, then I'm sure he'll vacate. I think it's as simple as that. I think any more conversation is just like banging your head against the wall because it's kind of obvious. Otherwise, the fight would have been agreed in principle by now. You know what I mean?
Do you agree with the assessment that Dalton Smith, his fight with Jose Zepeda is the toughest test of his career so far?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely a hard opponent. 12-round, proper world level fight. Zepeda's been in there, and when people have beat him, have come out as the world champion. So that's the level he's at. He's a big puncher, got a big knockout ratio, and yeah, Dalton knows what he needs to do, and it's on him and the rest of the team to do it on Saturday night.
He's in a stacked division at 140. His ambitions, his goals on winning a world title in that weight category. How difficult of a proposition will it actually be when you consider all of the names floating in and around there?
Yeah, I mean, no world title is easy to win. Some may be a bit harder than the others, but anytime you're fighting for world titles, you're typically fighting against one of the best fighters in the world. Okay, there is some exceptions, but Dalton's doing it the right way. Look, he's cleared domestically. There's not really anyone you can domestically say he should have fought and hasn't fought. And if it was up to him, this would probably be him versus Azim today, coming up. But they're not interested in making a fight, so he's not going to stall himself. He's going to look to go one above, and winning the European title against a weak champion. That there's probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 super lightweights in the country that can beat what's his name, Petterjohn. Winning a title in a very weak manner with all the home comforts. Like, yeah, okay, don't get me wrong, impressive winning the world title, being a champion, but then for it to be more likely that you're going to vacate and defend it against a great, like, him versus Dalton is a proper European title fight. They're both good fighters, both have bright futures, very well built up, markable. That is a European title fight, but they won't have it, even though that's probably the level that the fight is really at. You know what I mean? I think, anyway.
Moving away from him, another man you're involved with, Ishmael Davis versus Troy Williamson. great step up for Ishmael. Why Troy Williamson now? Why do you feel like this is the right step up?
I'll be real. Ish only got his last fight on the Matchroom card because he initially accepted a fight against Troy. Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that because didn't feel the need to say it, but Ish went from 6 and 8 rounders on the small hall shows to get ready to jump straight into a 10-round title fight against Troy when the Agyarko fight was in the end not happening, and then it did happen. But a day before it got agreed, Ish had just accepted to fight Troy. So he would have fought him on the 11th of November when he fought Ewan McKenzie on that card. That's why they gave Ish a slot on that card, because he said yes to Troy. So yeah, obviously a step up from where he's gone and been before, but we've got full belief in him. They've sparred plenty of rounds, and it's fireworks every time they get in the ring. You can, if you know anything about boxing, you can just know Troy and know Ish and know that fight. It's like boxing porn. Do you know what I mean? It's a proper fight. It's an old-fashioned dust-up. You know what I mean? It's not tippy-tappy. Let's have a little feel out of each other. It's let's go in there and knock lumps out of each other. So if that's your bag, if that's what you like when watching boxing, then you probably got a few options for this fight night. But I think Ish and Troy is one of the best fights on the card. Obviously Dalton Zepeda, firework. Terry Harper versus Sandy Ryan, the champion. Sandy Ryan, probably should have named her first. Great fights, even all the way down to a central area. But you got a big built-up fighter, Campbell Hatton, someone coming through. It's like all perfectly matched fights. And when you do four fights like that on a card, they haven't got to be the biggest names. You keep doing that, you're going to really create and generate the business model of why people love boxing. We can't keep seeing 4 or 5 fights on the card one-sided, because people leave with a sour taste in their mouth, feeling sorry for the people that lost. You can't build a champion of a fighter if people are feeling sorry for their opponent. Like, it's not how it works. The general Joe public and the boxing people have to feel like there is some jeopardy. Even if it's fighters want to be on a TV slot at 5 or 6 and 0, we'll fight someone else that's 4, 5, 6 and 0, or 7 and 1, or someone that's just lost coming back. Like, if you want to get in the party, like, go dance. You know what I mean? Don't just expect it all easy, which a lot of fighters do. And look, got there from talking about Ish because that's everything he's done. Less than 2 weeks before the fight, it got changed from a 10 to 12 rounder. It's fine for Troy. He's done it plenty of times. Ish ain't ever seen 10, and I'll take it to be the mandatory of the British, 100%.
Leading to my next question, I mean, I know you've just mentioned the mandatory for the British, but say if Ishmael was to do a better job than what Kevin Agyarko did, if that was offered, Kevin Agyarko, Ishmael Davis, beyond this, if Ishmael does a better job?
Yeah, 100%. It's a fight that I know is definitely in Ish's sort of pipeline. Really, he just wants to go through all the domestic fighters. Because if he can't beat all the ones this side of the water, what's the point of thinking about the ones anywhere else? So I know that's his mindset. It's our mindset with him too. Agyarko's a great fighter, had a good performance against Troy, won. Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure how likely that is. I'm not sure sort of who's really behind Agyarko right now. But look, Isha's got one job on Saturday night, and if he wins, he'll be mandatory for the British title. And giving someone the opportunity to fight for such a historic title that carries so much history and legacy, and you can't run away from that when you get in the position. So I don't know. Next up, albeit if Troy gets through, if Ish gets through Troy, it'll be more the British title. But look, open to any offers and any sort of path and plan. But Ish has already seen in his career how much a little bit of a leverage winning an eliminator. If there is some interest on that position, it can lead to things. So, this will be a great position for him, whether he gets in the ring or not. But we want him to be a champion. We want belts around his waist and really being championed as a fighter. And I think he deserves it. I think he's definitely earned it. And I think he's going to show everyone what he can do on Saturday night. But, like I said, a lot of respect to Troy as a genuine friend of mine, actual genuine friend of mine. But this is boxing, not business. It's up to Ish and Troy to get in the ring, and the best man wins. And the rest of us behind Ish, his team and Troy's team, it's on us to do the best what we can after the fight. But until then, everyone enjoy the night.
So on to yourself, your promoter's there doing a selfie video with everyone in the background. What's the latest with you?
Yeah, we're just waiting for my promoter to stop taking selfies and get his checkbook out, you know what I mean? If I'm being cheeky.
You walked further away when you said that.
I know. But in all seriousness, yeah, kind of there. Just obviously, you know, you're working with the biggest promoters in the world. Things don't just happen in a 1 minute conversation, you know. So, yeah, we've touched base, and there's definitely genuine interest both sides to continue working with each other. I think I've represented Matchroom and DAZN quite well in my first year with them. The broadcast are very happy with me as I don't know, an asset, a product, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'd be surprised if we didn't get something confirmed soon. And this week, you know, perfect for it. Perfect week for it.
One fight I did see reported was that of Adrian Curiel on the back of another defeat to Nonshinga. Is that a fight which is in the pipeline at all?
It's been mentioned with a route to, you know, versus the winner of Not Shingering is mandatory. But like I said, it's hearsay, it's talk and it's hearsay, and it makes sense for me in my career. But it's just about making sure everything makes sense. You know, the locations. Like I will fight anywhere, but I also want some sort of logical consistency to my mission and what I'm trying to achieve. And like I said, I think we'll get there. Had a great last year. Okay, it didn't end the way I may have wanted it to or set out to achieve, but I feel like I'm in a great position. I've been told from all angles, both professionally and personally, and by the fans, that my stock's risen. There's more interest. The people want to see me fight again, see what's next, more than ever before. So I've been told that by, you know, some of the top 10 influential people in boxing. So yeah, I'm just waiting in no massive rush, because you know I've been training, I've been ticking over. My weight's not ridiculous. I'm not light though. But I'm quite fit. I've been in the gym for the last pretty much full 3 months. So yeah, as soon as the conversation gets going, then I need about 10 weeks, then we'll go.
One fight I know you was very keen on and you'd love to have is that with Roman Gonzalez, aka Chocolatito. Is that one a little bit on the back burner at all, or is it still a possibility on the back of a BAM fight?
For me, 100%, I'd be interested in having that conversation. This is the biggest conversation to have. Is there any desire for it just now? I don't know. I doubt it. Bam just beat me quite conclusively, and I don't know. I think if that fight got made, most people would expect Gonzalez to do the same. So I need to go and do something a little bit more and get that. Oh, fucking hell, he's hard to beat again. So to get a fight like that, you have to be the leading horse, you know. And right now I'm not. There's other opponents, but maybe, I don't know, a little bit of build-up might be able to work in my favour. Being from the UK, maybe bringing Roman Gonzalez over for the first time before he hangs up the gloves might be a reason. So I'm definitely open to them. If you know, if you wanted me to prioritise what I wanted, he'd probably be number one. He's the biggest fight. He's like fighting a 5'2" Canelo. You know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things, compared to what else is out there. So of course, I'd fight him. I'm not scared of no one. I'll find out how good I am in the ring. I can lose. I like to win. But I genuinely like I like it when there's high chance that I'll lose. I like it when it really is a challenge. I like that feeling. I chase that feeling. I think that's what one people don't really realise about me. Like, I could end my career now and never get a win again, but be in 10 interesting fights, and I'd be every bit of happy as that, because if I'm good enough, I'll win. If I'm not, I won't. It's up to me. No one else. No one's opinion. No one. It's up to me about how good I am.
Just away from yourself, Sonny, and a word on BAM. A lot of talk about him facing Estrada next. What would you make of a BAM and Estrada fight?
Oh man, like Estrada's a very good fighter, but I'll be Team Bam. I'll be supporting him from afar. In other words, wanting him to win, so it doesn't look as bad me losing to him. But yeah, it's a great fight between two great fighters. A great fight between two great fighters. I don't know if I said it right the first time, but what I'm looking forward to as well. Like I shared a round from the Roman Gonzalez Estrada fight, and just reminded myself actually how really good that fight's going to look. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to kind of not forget about Estrada, but you know, when there's Roman Gonzalez in the way, and then there was a couple of like the setback performances, etc. You forget just how really like exciting and dangerous he is. And yeah, Bam will have his hands full with him. It's probably stylistically a harder fight for Bam than I was. So yeah, I think he'll maybe have to get a lot more physical. And look, Bam showed that he can be there to be hit. Like I hit him plenty, I just didn't hit him hard enough, you know. but Estrada hits hard, so I think that'll be a great fight. But Bam probably the fresher and maybe technically better, and lets combinations go very, very fast. And not just by his hand speed, but by how quick his feet get in a position to be planted, be strong, and start throwing it. It's like, yeah, it's very quite impressive stuff when you really break it down. And to be in the ring with it, like, you know, normally you get a lot more time and a lot more space. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's a very good fighter. I rate him very highly. But I'll be real, I would love the winner.
Running back with Bam potentially then.
I said he's not going to deceive me once. I said he weren't going to deceive me once. And like I said, he's a great fighter. I rate him very highly. But that's the reason why I want to get back in the ring with him. I don't think I was miles off the mark. I thought my eye went very, very early on and put me in, circumstances that were much more mentally difficult and challenging than I've ever been used to before in my vision. So I don't know. I think I put up a good account of myself, with all things considered. I couldn't fight the way I would and have ever fought before in my life. And looking back at it and being in there, I don't really put it down to anything that Bam was typically doing that was out of this world. It was, once I couldn't really see him, it was kind of hard to tell whether it was at the edge of range, just in range, completely out of range, throwing a shot even. It was a lot more going on. And for someone that reacts to so much, it was, I don't want to say confusing, but yeah, probably the best word I can say. At the time, it was quite a lot going through, so I don't know. You give me the opportunity again, I'm coming back and have every bit of confidence and self-belief. And that last fight has genuinely given me probably more belief than a lot of my wins in myself, my toughness, my ambition. So, yeah, man, like I said, I hope that fight comes off, and I hope Bam wins. And, in the future, I would love whenever anyone thinks it's worth seeing it, I would love that fight again, whether that's the fans demanding it or Eddie saying, oh, what about that fight again, or Bam saying, fuck it, stop chatting shit about me, I'll fight you again, I'll beat you again, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, I don't care. But at the same time, it's probably not ever going to be something that I'm disrespectfully chasing, because, I owe it to the only person that's beat me in World Championship boxing to humble myself, especially when I talk about Bam, you know what I mean? So I would love to fight again, would love the opportunity again, and would every belief in me think I'd win it. But yeah, I won't be chasing him, because he's gone past me now, and may he enjoy it and make the most of it as well.
So just a couple of thoughts I want to get your thoughts on before we wrap this up. As somebody who's active over social media, what's been your thoughts on Ryan Garcia and his current involvement with the social media world? A lot of people kind of expressing their concern for him, and the fight ahead with Devin Haney.
Well, what do you think?
It's out of character to say the least. I'm sure people won't probably appreciate me saying this. I don't know whether it's right for the fight to go ahead, but I don't know Ryan, so I don't know if it's a legitimate kind of issue or if he's just playing up for the cameras like Teofimo people suggested that he did prior to the Josh Taylor fight.
It's crazy though, because I feel like I've never heard a fight be talked about so much, yeah. But then, because of the jeopardy of whether the fight's happening or not, I don't think it's translating into ticket sales, you know what I mean? Because who's going to book hotel and thingy when the commission's talking about putting the fight, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's a bit of a messy situation. Yeah, he probably invited that on a lot of parts himself, but at the end of the day, we're fighters, man. What do you expect from us? We're going to have bad days like a normal human being. And I don't know what Ryan Garcia or anyone else's vices are for that matter, but sometimes you have things that take your mind away from its centre for brief periods of time. Sometimes you're going through a breakup, you're going through stress, you're going through, I don't know, life-altering instances that might make your whole head fall off. Who knows, where it's coming from, why it's come. It's easy to say, oh, he's just chatting, but, usually people don't come out with this. You know what I mean? There's usually big filters stopping them. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Does everything going out on social media change your opinion at all on how a fight would play out between the two of them come April 20th?
No, I mean, I think I always favoured Haney anyway, just because he doesn't really do much wrong. Like, he doesn't really blow the world of light, but he's always in control and he's always finding the sharp, accurate, punishing shots, and he doesn't really ever seem to get out of his engine, and he doesn't really seem to be putting steps wrong in fights. So I don't know. I think, yeah, he's as good as you're going to get right now out there, pound for pound, especially in take away someone just having raw power and being able to be too much strong or too powerful for another fighter. He's arguably one of the best pure boxers. Um, Ryan Garcia, they've got a lot of history. They've shared the ring a lot of times. Obviously, that was a long time ago. Who's got the better career right now? You'd probably say Haney, but Ryan Garcia's had a good one too. Showed very dangerous, got heavy hands. But, yeah, there's big question marks about where his head is right now. But who knows? Sometimes a monster's created from adversity rather than, life being good. So if he gets in the ring, it might be the most dangerous Ryan Garcia we've seen yet. Because at the end of the day, you're only your mentality. Yeah. I've seen crackheads walk through whole panes of glass, straight through, not even affected, barely have a scratch on them. You know what I mean? Do things that when your mind's somewhere else, your body can do things way past. So who knows? He might be coming with some innate self-belief right now that he's been blessed by God to win this fight, and that's probably like an actual 100% centered belief around that would probably make a man quite dangerous. You'd think.
Sonny, next week, up in heavyweight, Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clarke. What do you think happens?
I think it's a great fight. I've got time for both of the guys. I've got a lot more history with Fraser. A friend of mine from GB days, a good friend of my brother's. Looked out for me when I was on GB and was always a very good guy. Spent a lot of time in the Still City gym as well, whilst he was still in amateur training, doing bits and work with Grant. So yeah, I don't know. Fraser's a great fighter. I think technically Fraser's better than Fabio, but no, it's a 36-minute fight. We haven't seen Fraser have to do those. At some points, without being disrespectful, because I don't mean it at all like that, with some time, his pace can be a bit monotonous and a bit slow, and I don't think Fabio will let him do that. I think that's where the danger is. So I think Fraser will probably be in control of the quiet exchanges and the boxing, but it's how it opens up. That's where the value of this fight is. And Fraser can fight and he can take his shot and he's got heart. But we haven't seen him do it in 12 rounds. Have we really seen Fabio do it? Probably no either. So we're probably going to see both step up. One thing I know, if you ask me, probably at any point rather than the last 6-12 months, it would have been 100% Fraser and 0% on Fabio. But Fabio's looked very good in his last few performances. He looked very dangerous. And he's probably kind of, maybe from when I first seen him and hearing how he got, he's probably already overachieved, but showing that he's got a lot in front of him, the rate he's doing it. And he's seemingly making quite smart business decisions. He's kind of, being his own promoter, going there when it suits him, going there when it suits him, and finishing up there when it suits him. So, I don't think he's in a bad place to be at all, and I think he's shown a good contender, a genuinely good contender. But I do think, for where Fraser's been around the world and who he's been in the ring with, it might be a step up for Fabio as well. So it's an interesting fight. I just can't believe it's on Easter Sunday, to be honest.
Sonny, it's a pleasure as always. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll leave you now so you can go and relax. Thank you for speaking to me in Boxing News.
Sweet.